Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into this week's edition of my top 5 college football betting parlays. College football week 12, NFL week 11. I've got my 5 top parlays here. And guys, you can take a look. Another easy win last week with the safe parlay. I'm just running through Vegas at this point. They know about me. They're pissed. But there's really nothing they can do. This is pure parlay manipulation, guys. And I take a lot of pride in my safe parlay and getting that right each and every week. Let's get right into my first parlay, which is the safe parlay. The one that is basically an auto lock. First, we have Ohio State, the first team to 35 points versus Michigan State. That's minus 335. Yeah, this is a horrific matchup for Michigan State. I've been saying it for about 2 weeks now. Michigan State terrible against the pass. They get no pressure. That's where CJ Stroud really struggles, is against pressure. I'm expecting another 40, potentially 50 burger for Ohio State very easily. I think Ohio State wins this game and covers pretty easily as well. They're around 19-point favorites. This is just too easy. First team to 35. Come on, that's only 5 touchdowns against one of the worst pass defenses in college football. Too easy. That's the first leg. The second leg, New Mexico State at Kentucky. The under 70. I actually like the under 59, but since this is a parlay, you bring it up, you manipulate it a little. It's minus 425. I really don't see how New Mexico State scores more than 10 points, if they even score that. They're one of the worst teams in FBS. Last week, they scored 3 points against Alabama. Kentucky, not as good as an offense as Alabama. Maybe they get to 52. Maybe they get to 49. There's no way the game total is going over 70, though. It is minus 425, so there's more manipulation there. Wisconsin, just straight money line bet versus Nebraska. That's minus 350. So I saw a lot of value in that. I don't think there's any way Wisconsin loses the way they are playing recently. We know the story about Nebraska. We know they're better than the record says they are. Yeah, whatever. But come on, Wisconsin at home. I think they're around a 9 or a 10-point favorite in this one. They are on a roll. They're on a mission. They know they need to keep on winning. They already have 3 losses. They want to get to a big-time bowl. They're going to keep winning against Nebraska. They get it done. Auburn at South Carolina. The over, 34.5. So the actual over in this game, I think, is 43, which I also love the over in that one. I think this is going to be a very competitive football game. This is minus 450 in total odds, but 34.5 is ridiculous. Once again, when you have 2 teams and they're competitive, you're going to get both of them scoring so that it adds up quickly. Even in a game, if it's 27-24, the over on 34.5 hits easily. Once again, this is a parlay, so I'm manipulating these over-unders to give myself a better chance because you need more legs, you need more things to happen rather than just a straight bet. You're giving yourself more of a chance. So instead of going Auburn, South Carolina over 43, you're saying, let me up the odds a little bit since I need 5 or 6 things to happen. That's why this is the safe parlay. That's why I always win these, folks. It's parlay manipulation. You're not going to find this anywhere else, ladies and gentlemen. You're not going to find it. South Alabama at Tennessee, the over, 53.5. That's minus 450. South Alabama can score. And we know Tennessee, after their performance last weekend, no shame in getting shut down by Georgia, but they're raring to go. Hayden Hooker, I'm expecting 4 or 5 passing touchdowns from him. And again, South Alabama, they're going to sustain some drives. They're going to score, I would say, 14, maybe 21 points, depending on if they get a garbage time score. Over 53.5. Tennessee's offense, one of the best in the SEC. I think Tennessee can score 50-plus by themselves against this South Alabama team. And then South Alabama should be able to get at least 14 points. They're averaging, I think, over 400 yards of offense per game. And then just the last leg of it, the Browns money line versus the Lions. I think that's a complete lock. I don't see any way the Browns lose this week to the Lions. The Lions coming off the tie. The Browns coming off that very bad loss. There's going to be a lot of motivation. And with Nick Chubb coming back, there's no way they lose this game. I also think they cover the spread as well. It's around a 10-point spread. But, this is safe. We want to give ourselves better chances here. Browns are not losing to the Lions. That is the number 1 safe parlay. You can see the overall picks there. The overall odds, plus 270 for 6 picks. I'll leave that up for a second. Moving on now to my second parlay, which is my second, third, and fourth parlay are just regular parlays. So we have Memphis at Houston, the over 60.5. This was in one of my best bets video. Both of these teams score a ton. Houston's around a 9.5-point favorite. I don't know if they cover that spread, but what I do expect, this game's going to be competitive throughout. Maybe Houston pulls away late and wins by 14. I don't want to take a bet on Houston minus 9.5, but just give me the over. This game could end, maybe 45-35, something like that. I like both of these teams to score a lot. When it's competitive and they're both scoring a lot, it adds up quickly. So give me the over 60.5 in that one. Western Kentucky versus FAU, the over. So the total over on the game, 54.5. That's minus 370. So there's more manipulation going to that. The actual over under in this game, I think it might be 62 or 63. But again, it's a parlay. You need a lot of things to happen. You have to give yourself better odds in some of these legs. Safer. Be safe about it so these parlays can actually hit. Western Kentucky's a team, great offense. Their quarterback has like 45 passing touchdowns. FAU, I love Western Kentucky minus 10 in this game because I don't think FAU is very good, but they have a decent offense. They can score a little themselves. 54.5, decently competitive game that Western Kentucky pulls away late in. Yeah, give me the over 54.5. That's minus 370. That's a manipulated over-under line. Then we've got Penn State to win the first half versus Rutgers. Great value here. Penn State coming off that tough loss to Michigan. They're around 17-point favorites. Rutgers really isn't that bad, but you're thinking Penn State at home to win the first half. If Penn State is not leading at the end of the first half, I would be shocked. Rutgers is not bad, but Penn State, right now, they need these wins. They're 3-4 in Big Ten play. There's got to be some motivation. Even if you're only up 3-0 at the half, you still win this bet, minus 345. I love the value of it. Penn State at home, winning at the end of the first half. Penn State's up 10-7, you win the bet. They're up 7-3, you win the bet. They're up 14-10. So they just got to be leading. Just leading at the end of the first half. That's minus 345 there. Minnesota at Indiana, the under 53.5. These teams can't score. These two teams, they just can't score. They can't do anything. This is a manipulated line as well, plus or minus 380, excuse me. There's no scenario. Tanner Morgan's season stat line is seven passing touchdowns and 7 interceptions. And Indiana, I don't know what they're doing. Indiana, it's like, how are they going to generate a 60-yard drive? Other than some fluke or maybe a turnover, I don't know. This game, I think the actual over-under is 44 because they just can't score. But again, you're trying to give yourself better odds. When you need 4 or 5 things to happen, give yourself better odds. This is how you do parlays. And then the last one, Bengals at Raiders, the over 42.5. This game is going to be an absolute shootout. That one is manipulated as well. The actual over-under is 49, but it's going to be very competitive game. Ravens favored by 1 point. When you're looking for overs, look for very competitive games. This is a funny thing that happened with the Cowboys-Falcons game last week. I took the over in it, or that was one of my NFL best bets last week. The over, 53 or something? The Cowboys scored 43 points. The over didn't hit because it wasn't a competitive game. And to be honest, I don't know how the Falcons didn't score at least one garbage time touchdown. It is kind of ridiculous. You're not going to see many games in the NFL end 43-3, but I'm just saying, when you're taking overs, you really want both teams to be competitive. You want them to be scoring from both sides. And this Bengals-Raiders game is probably going to come down to like a last-second field goal or a last-second drive, something like that. They're very evenly matched. They have identical records. They're both in the playoff hunt. Give me the over in that one. I'll leave this up for a second. That's 5 picks plus 436 on that parlay. Moving on to my third parlay, we've got Clemson team total under 30.5. That's against Wake Forest, and no, Wake Forest doesn't have the best defense, but 30.5 for Clemson seems like a lot to ask. Even if Clemson wins this game, I'm seeing like 27-24. I guess they have this at Clemson's team total at 30.5 because they're expecting maybe more of a shootout, maybe more of a high-scoring game. But I have not seen a single thing from this Clemson offense that tells me they're going to score 31 points in this football game. Nothing. They're not a good offense. At this point, it's like we know they have the talent. We know they have 5 stars. But at this point, there's 2 weeks left in the season. This Clemson offense is not good. Give me the under. I'm just going to use, I'm not going to use, look at the recruiting, because I'm a person that loves doing that. Like, this team's better than the record says they are. No, there's 2 weeks left. Give me a break. They've proven it. They're not a good offense. They're not scoring 31 points. I know the Wake Forest defense isn't that great. They're still not scoring 31 points. They're still not. Michigan money line at Maryland. You know what I always say about Michigan? This is a no-nonsense football team. This Michigan team is extremely well coached. It's actually a decent value Michigan money line. I think they're a complete lock to win. It's like maybe minus 500. I don't know. Or maybe it might be minus 700 because they are they're like 15-point favorites at this point. That line's gotten up a little bit. Maryland, they're a good passing team. But there's no way this Michigan team loses. They know what they have to do. They know they have to win this game and then beat Ohio State to go to the Big Ten championship game. I don't think they're beating Ohio State, but they know that this game, while people say, well, they might look ahead to Ohio State, they know this game is very important. If they lose this game, they can't go to the Big Ten championship. That's the bottom line. They know they need this game. Money line, very easy. Throw into your parlay. No, it's not going to be the biggest multiplier. It's minus 700, but still, you want to give yourself better odds there. Throw that in there. Kansas State money line versus Baylor. So Kansas State, I believe, a 1-point underdog. But to me, this young Baylor team, how do they handle success going on the road in a hostile environment, going to Kansas State, a Kansas State team with a really good defense? You know it's going to be a close game. I'll take the home team to pull one out. This is one of those weird 5:30 starts, I believe, maybe on FS1 or Fox. But yeah, give me Kansas State. I've liked Kansas State. Baylor, huge win last week. Phenomenal for the program. I understand that, but I'll take Kansas State winning a closer, low scoring, like 27-24, something like that. And then Auburn at South Carolina, that is the actual over-under line, so I'll just take the over 44.5. Both of these teams should be competitive in this game. I'm looking at like a 27-24 type score at the lowest, so the over 44.5 clearly hits in that one. And then as you can see, that's a 14 parlay plus 672. I'll leave this up. Moving on to parlay number 4, we've got UMass. Team total under half a point in the first quarter. So you're not going to see bets like this anywhere else, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you right now. Think about this for a second. UMass, the worst team in FPS. It's not even close. It's been confirmed. They go to Army, they run the ball a ton. 5-6 minute drives. You're going to see UMass. You think they're scoring in the first quarter, albeit maybe they get a luck turnover. That's really the only way. Give me the odds here. I believe it's like minus 220. Great odds for UMass. Get shut out in the first quarter, phenomenal. I expect it to happen. There's no way they're going to score in the first quarter. Army, 6-7 minute drives. They run the ball. That's all they do. I also love the under in the Army UMass game. But this is one, give me the under. Very easy. Under UMass getting shut out in the first quarter by Army. SMU plus 12 at Cincinnati. I believe that's plus 11.5 now, but I'll still take it. Cincinnati's a team they've struggled to cover lately. SMU is a team that scores a lot of points. Cincinnati may win this game, but I think you're looking at like a 38-31 type score. 11.5 or 12 is simply too much against this SMU team. Once again, Cincinnati has not played great. They haven't shown me a ton to instill the confidence in me that they're going to be able to cover this spread. I believe they haven't covered 4 straight spreads or something like that. And SMU does have a good offense. They do have a terrible defense. We understand that. And the game is in Cincinnati. That's why they're favored by the amount that they are. But overall, I think SMU keeps this closer. It could be a field goal game, too. I'm just getting a vibe this game is close. It's close. We'll see if Cincinnati can hang on to win. But I'll take SMU plus the 12 or plus the 11.5, whatever. And then the Utah money line versus Oregon. I was first in on this, apparently. I mean, Utah's the favorite in this game. 4 or 5 weeks ago, I said Utah was going to upset Oregon. Right, I mean, it's not even an upset. Utah is 3-point favorites at home against Oregon. Vegas does not respect Oregon's offense at all. I'll just take a money line in a parlay instead of taking the -3 because you don't want to lose a parlay by Oregon or by Utah only winning by 2 and not 3 while having all the other legs hit. So just give me that money line, whatever. And then we have the Bills money line versus the Colts. I love the Bills this week, and the Colts are frauds. The Colts are frauds in the NFL. The Bills should cover the 7-point spread, but since it is a parlay, I don't want to have to worry about the 7 points. I'll just take the Bills to win the game. And then the Chargers money line versus the Steelers. I love the Chargers this week. Zig when other people zag. People are down on the Chargers coming off the loss last week. That means they're going to play better. They're going to play well against the Steelers at home, and they're going to win with Justin Herbert, even if Big Ben is back, which we expect him to be. And that is the 5-team parlay there, plus 744 odds overall in that one. Moving on to my fun parlay, which is just a bunch of random picks I throw together. I have Minnesota moneyline at Indiana. So the only reason I threw this one in here, it's very good value. I believe Minnesota is like -280. I understand why they're not more. It's because the offense, they're on like their 5th string running back, but still, Indiana is 0-8. I don't see much of a chance for Indiana to win this game. Their offense is just an atrocity. It's terrible. So I'll just take Minnesota straight up. And Minnesota, they outgained Iowa last week by about 180 yards, even though they lost. But still, they lost 27-22. No shame in that. I'll take them straight money line there. Wake Forest plus 3.5 at Clemson. This is another one of those games. What has Clemson proved to us that suggests they should be the favorite, other than have a really good recruiting classes, really good 5-stars, whatever. I understand the potential is there for this Clemson team to crush Wake Forest, but we have 2 weeks of the regular season left, ladies and gentlemen. This is what this Clemson team is, and honestly, I think Clemson is worse than their record. They're 7-3. Yeah, they're going to get another loss. Let's be real here. I think Wake Forest wins this game outright, but I'll take the 3.5 easily. Boise State minus 27 versus New Mexico. Get in on this, folks. This is a 44-3 game. I'm telling you, I am the Boise State expert. I get this team right every week. It's crazy. Boise State is right now playing like a top 10 team in college football. They want to earn a trip to a New Year's Six Bowl. I know they have 4 losses, but come on, this is a really good football team. Boise State 44, New Mexico probably scoring only around 3, maybe even 10, but New Mexico is terrible, folks. They're horrible. UL Monroe plus 29 at LSU. I could see UL Monroe winning this game outright. I'm not even kidding. Think about it. It's all the ingredients. LSU with a lame duck coaching staff, coming off an emotional loss at home against a bad opponent. UL Monroe is going to be in this football game. This is going to be a very competitive game. Give me them plus 29 easily. Oregon State money line versus Arizona State. This is one of those late night Pac-12 games, guys. You know, you get the vibes. 10:30 start time. Arizona State 3-point favorites, but Oregon State can score. They can throw the football around. I think they win this game straight up over Arizona State. 10:30 start time on Saturday. Bengals money line at Raiders. Love the Bengals this week. I just think they're a better team than the Raiders. They're pissed off. They're coming off that terrible loss to the Browns. They had a bye week last week. They're ready to go. Joe Burrow. That's a high-scoring shootout that Joe Burrow wins. And then we have the Chiefs money line versus the Cowboys. Just very good value. Patrick Mahomes at home. Only a 1.5 favorite versus Dallas. Take a look at the odds on that one. I couldn't fit all the games in there. I don't know the exact odds, but there you can see the overall risk and win. It's pretty crazy. But guys, that is going to do it for this week's edition of your top 5 college football parlays. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.